Alright guys, it's the finals of tonight's Wednesday night Modern Tournament from Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. On the left we've got Alec Myers, who's playing a Melira combo deck, and his opponent, who we just saw in round 3, is Jeremy Bales, who's playing Merfolk. So a combo, aggro combo versus old school fish. Thank you guys for watching. This is the first time in a long time. I think this may be the first time ever that we've streamed and or recorded our Wednesday night Modern event. But with the holiday season, a lot of people in town from college. 16 players playing tonight, so 4 rounds of coverage. And I hope it has been worth your time here. Both these players undefeated, obviously. So the winner of this round will in fact win the entire tournament, and the prizes, they're so attached. So Jeremy starts off as best his deck can with the turn 1 Aether Vial. Not nearly as important in this matchup as it is in the Legacy version, but still the mana acceleration that you get from a Vial is oft incomparable. However, Alec finding a Quasali Pride Mage immediately, which will likely take care of the Vial. And in fact it does. So attack in for 3 with Exalted. Then sack the Pride Mage to take care of the Aether Vial. Let's see if Alec has a follow-up here. So Jeremy, before the Vial goes away, Vial's in a Curse Catcher. Replaces the Vial, adds a Phantasmal Image copying Lord, and Alec already up against it here. He adds a Wall of Roots, goes ahead and immediately adds a counter to play a second Birds of Paradise, taps his first Birds for a Deathrite Shaman. So Alec is on the all-mana ramp plan. We see in his hand a Court of Calling, another land, and a Voice of Resurgence. So Jeremy adding a Marrow Reedry to the board, so 3 Lords on the table. And attacks in with 3 4/4s here. So we can take it all, go down to 1, but that turns off fetch lands. Not really sure if that's any good. Alec does have the Court of Calling in his hand. So if he draws one of the 2 combo pieces, he might be able to, well, no, that's not true. He needs 3 here, so not sure what he could draw here that would be relevant. So Alec up against it here, 2 cards away from comboing off. Looks like he draws a Gavany Township for the turn. He can survive the attack by jumping out, but it's going to be very unlikely that he can win from that point. He'd have to court in response to damage, pray to naturally draw the combo piece he's missing. So there is a Ranger of Eos. So he can go get a Viscera Seer. I'm not sure what other card he wants to get in this spot. Likely irrelevant. He can just get something to get in front of something. He's getting 2 birds. That doesn't seem right. Seems like Viscera Seer is one that you would want to get here. That way you could play the Seer, survive the attack, assuming Jeremy doesn't have a Spreading Seas in the main. Then on your turn you can Court of Calling up and pray that you draw the 3rd combo piece. So Jeremy with an army of 4/4s with a vial on 2 so they can get even bigger. Draws a land for the turn, it looks like. Just one card in hand, so I don't think he's going to be able to win this turn. So Alec is going to get another draw step here. A question in the chat about why I didn't get Viscera Seer there. I genuinely don't know. I think his only out here is to combo win. Jeremy with the interesting line here. Got a Vapor Snag. Well, this should be enough then, right? It's going to gain 2 life, go up to 4. Then die on the crackback. Yep, this should be enough. All of those creatures represent 4 damage. I guess Alec has, I guess he could cord for a Dryad Arbor or something at that point, but not very good. I think Alec's inexperience with the deck there might have hampered him, as I think the correct line there was involved Viscera Seer, though I don't really think it would have mattered. Though he could have saved the 1 life by sacking that creature to his Viscera Seer to avoid the Vapor Snag resolving. Who knows? It's tricky. Doesn't matter because these guys are off to our sideboards. Guys, thanks for checking us out here. 143 people watching a grown man sit in a broom closet talk about imaginary wizard fights. I hope the coverage has been good tonight. The problem is I actually played in the tournament tonight, which, if you've been watching for a long time, the joke is I don't actually play Magic, and while that's truer than it is incorrect, I do enjoy playing the Wednesday night events. That's why we don't usually broadcast them, is because I'm in the events, and I don't really know how useful the coverage is without live commentary. As someone who watches a lot of Magic streams on Twitch, I don't usually enjoy the ones without commentary, so that's why I have been hesitant to put them out there. So if you have been watching in the in-betweens when there wasn't any commentary, if you have any feedback you'd like to give, feel free to get in touch with us on our various forms of social media. Username is ZachSellsMagic on all of those, so check that out. Let me know. I'd be curious to know your opinion. Good, it's just not my cup of tea, so I agree with you there. So I'm glad that you can, glad you enjoyed it. Shout out to Joao in Portugal joining us in the chat, long-time viewer. So we're into game 2 here with, goodness, is that Kosi's Trickster? God, what does that card do? It's like when something untaps, it gets bigger. Isn't this like a big financial play lately, like that thing's blowing up? MTGO bot not, oh, when your opponent searches their library, you get a +1/+1 counter, so that thing gets pretty big. But Alec using a Deathrite Shaman on turn 1 in a fetch land to power out a turn 2 Kitchen Finks. And we're going to Spreading Seas the green source. So we didn't see it in game 1. Not sure if Jeremy sized them in. I would imagine they'd be in his main deck. They are one of the most important cards in the strategy. I would figure, though I don't play Merfolk and I'm not incredibly versed with Modern. So Alec's stuck now on just black and blue mana. I'm going to play another Deathrite here. You can go ahead and serve in with the Kitchen Finks and start the clock a little bit. So Jeremy with the double Spreading Seas draw, which is actually not that great. At least Spreading Seas does cycle. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. We're going to cord for 2. Cording for 2, going to get a Melira. Yep, just having to change our tapping here to pay for the Chord's mana cost. Does need 3 green, so has to tap to 3 creatures. I don't know if Alec is incredibly... I don't know how Alex won tonight. I haven't seen... In the games that we played in round 1, he just beat me down with Voice of Resurgence. But he's made a lot of what I would call suboptimal plays, trying to... I don't think he's gone for his combo necessarily. Is that Spike Feeder in his hand? No, another Birds. Now, I know the Birds does give him access to the mana he needs. Does he naturally have the combo in his hand? Is that he has a Spike Feeder? If he has the Archangel of Thune, then he would just win there. No, it's a Gavany Township. I apologize. So Jeremy's draw here, he had kept a draw I imagine had a 1-drop in the Spreading Seas, but the double Spreading Seas not nearly as good. I don't, like, I mean, I don't know, like, I guess this is a good spot to be in, but you only want 1 island on your opponent's board. You want to be playing 2/2 Lords. Well, at least we start now with a Merfolk of the Pearl Trident, and then Kosi's Trick just serves in. Did Jeremy miss a trigger off the Kosi's trigger? Kosi's Trickster? Looks like Alex searched out the Birds of Paradise. He might have just missed that one. That, of course, assuming I understand how Kosi's Trickster works. So there's a Gavany Township. And Alex is going to pile in here. I'm not sure what's going on here, to be perfectly honest with you. It looked like we served in with the 2 Death Rights and the... Oh, we Gavanied, I understand here. Alright, so Alec is just going with plan B here. Beat you down with Gavany Township activations. That's why he searched up the Birds of Paradise. We'll see if that's going to be enough. Jeremy keeping a Spreading Seas hand that was light on business of his own might come back to bite him here, as Alec now has a fairly formidable set of attackers. So not sure if, don't really know what the point of citing these Kosi's Tricksters is if you don't put the counters on them. But I guess that's just inexperience. And Jeremy decided to leave his team back on defense. With 2 Lords out, all of his creatures are 3/3s now. There's the Archangel. He did draw it naturally. And he has the Spike Feeder in his hand. So if he can just resolve it next turn, he will win on the spot, as he will gain infinite life. So that'll be fun to watch. So Jeremy just takes it here, and I guess he's trying to load up one massive final attack here. If he goes land, Lord, then he's attacking with 3 6s, and it's just 1 short. Of course, if he had remembered any of his triggers, that would have been enough. So there's 1 Lord. And then he just passes back, and Alec explains to him the combo between the Spike Feeder and Archangel Thune. You remove counters to gain life. Archangel puts counters on creatures. You just keep doing that until you gain 1 billion life. So Jeremy is looking for a situation in which he can get through. So it looks like Alec found 6 that he could keep. Jeremy starts off with a turn 1 Mutavault, but no Aether Vial. Alec with a Death right off a Razor Verge, so still no fetch land to activate. We'll see if he has one in his hand, as he's not going to get fetch lands out of Jeremy's deck. So Silvergill Adept revealing Lord of Atlantis. Alec figuring out what Silvergill Adept does. There's a very good chance this is the first competitive modern event Alec has ever played in, to be perfectly honest. So the Adept cycles, we know the Lord of Atlantis is coming down, assuming Jeremy has a second island. And Alec passes back with no play here, stuck on 2 mana. Well, not stuck on 2 mana, I should say, but no fetch land for his Death right to take advantage of. So, Alec deciding to trade his Death right for Silvergill Adept, which is a trade I like if you're Alec. It's interesting that Jeremy offered that up, as I don't think I would be willing to make that trade in his situation. But stuck on two lands, I guess he felt like he should try to apply some pressure and keep Alec slowed down slightly. So we're going to Vapor Snag one of the Lingering Souls tokens. Alec down to 17. He's going to serve in with the remaining Lingering Souls token. There's a fetch land. I'm going to take 1, and then gain 2, back up to 18 by resolving a Kitchen Finks. So it looks like Jeremy unable to find his second island. So this game may not be long for this world, as the Merfolk deck doesn't need a lot of mana, but absent an Aether Vial and absent a second island, it is going to be in a world of hurt. So Jeremy's going to cast a Phantasmal Image, showing the versatility of that card. Copying Kitchen Finks to go up to 21, and now we're going to see the interesting interaction between Persist and Phantasmal Image, so it will come back and he can choose to copy another creature if he wants to. There's a Wall of Roots, put a counter on it immediately. Tap for 3 mana here. And cast a Birthing Pod. Hey George. With Jeremy clearly in the driver's, or Alec clearly in the driver's seat here. At 16 life, staring down only 1 Kitchen Finks with a Wall of Roots to effectively fog it every turn. And now an active pod. He has a plethora of in-games here, depending on what's in his hand and what he draws over the next 1 or 2 turns. So this game hasn't turned into what I would call a barn burner by any means, as Jeremy's keep is questionable at best. He hasn't been able to draw out of it. We've seen some interesting lines of play as far as the Silvergill Adept and Vapor Snag go. Now we see Alec potting away his Kitchen Finks to get a murderous red cap, choosing not to deal damage to the Phantasmal Image, as it could just come back as a copy of either creature. And there's a There is an Aether Vial. One turn, or not one turn, about 1,000 turns too late. So we're going to pot off the Murderous Redcap. We're going to go get an Archangel of Thune. He has the Spike Feeder in his hand. Nothing Jeremy can do as he's tapped his only blue source. So Alec is going to gain infinite life here. And effectively do infinite damage as well. So that's a very large Lingering Souls token. And that's going to be enough. So looked like some variants decided that one ultimately. And there's some comments in the chat about maybe some suboptimal lines Alec took. Remember that he has never played this deck before. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know if I could do this well with this toolbox of deck.